Go ahead, Dana.
Al, Jason Frenzel here.
There's Jason. Hi, Jason.
How is everybody doing today?
We're doing great.
Nice. Gretchen, do we have everybody online? Are we ready to get started?
We are ready to get started. Go right ahead.
Fabulous. Well, welcome everybody to our 2018 annual meeting. It has been a delightful year for all of us on the board, and a lot of exciting developments for the field in general. So look forward to touching on many of those points throughout today. For now, let's click ahead one for me, please, Gretchen. Our agenda today, we'll have a call to order, some basic introductions. Dana and I will be Dana Littman and I will be co-presenting this webinar, along with a number of other people who are outgoing or incoming vice presidents in charge of different committees. You'll see a bunch of their names on our slate of 2019 Board of Directors. We have a bylaw update that looks like we'll be able to upgrade a couple items there. And then a few reports and plans for next year. And then we'll open it up for lots of Q&A. So whatever you need, we can bring up at that point in time. We do, because we're expecting a good handful of people on the call today, we have everyone except for the presenters muted. So if you have any questions, please drop them into the text box on your right, on the screen associated with the viewer. So on the bottom of that is a little chat function. You can either send a note to just the panelists and the organizers or to everyone on the call, I believe. Gretchen will be moderating those for us while Dana and I and the rest of the board go through our agenda. Gretchen, would you click that over, please? So I'd like to formally call our meeting to order. Dana Littman and I will be, as I said, co-presenting today's annual meeting and our updates from this past year and our plans for this coming. I'd just like to mention briefly a few of the accomplishments that I think are really important to set the stage and the structure for what Alive has been doing for this year and where we're going for this coming year. As many of you were present or have heard about through our communications and many others, the national scene for our industry has been shifting pretty rapidly, which is fantastic, exhilarating, and very promising in many ways. Alive has been working to situate ourselves in the most advantageous way for our organization and for our industry in those conversations, and you'll hear a bunch of items about some of those aspects. As a point of reflection, you may recall that a year and a half ago we had a national retreat in Minnesota that spun off lots of great and important initiatives and conversations. From that has been born the newest and largest component is the National Alliance, which many of our board members have been integral in the development of and will likely stay highly involved in the coming years as that larger picture organization gets going. Dana will give us some updates about that later on during one of the updates. But with that spot that Alive has been able to insert its leadership in a lot of those changes and goals, we've also seen a significant uptake in our membership. We've seen an uptake in the number of partners that we've had, and therefore the amount of programming and offerings we've been able to offer to our members. So that's been a fabulous, fabulous addition. And through some strategic additions onto our board, we've been able to drastically increase our partnerships on the ground with some state level commissions, as well as a number of local associations. So look forward to hearing some more about that as we move on. All in all, it's been a fabulous year. As you may know, I'm the outgoing president as of today, and happy to hand the reins off to more amazing leadership, having built a year or two of really great foundation off of some amazing work that all of our predecessors have done. And so with that, Gretchen, would you jump us forward one more step, please? Just to remind us all, Alive is here to sustain the profession, sustain volunteerism through sustaining our members and practitioners. And ultimately, we want to make sure that our communities are strong in creating healthy engagement for all of our citizens and all the clients that we serve, be them animals or humans. Gretchen, would you jump forward, please? Apologize to everybody. We're having just a tiny bit of delay in our forwarding or advancing of the slides, so bear with us a half second per slide, if you would. We don't have too much content to cover today, so I think we'll be good. I would like to bring forward our slate for this year. We have a really nice set of folks to step in this year, as we had a few vacancies created over the last 12 months. A couple of people have had to step down, and so we've had some amazing opportunities for some new folks to come in. I'm really excited about, also very, very excited about our upcoming executive committee. It's as strong as I have seen in my 5 years on the board at this point. So lots of folks who have been around the field for over 10 or 20 years, and quite a small handful of people who are new and vibrant with lots of new connections into different portions of our industry, which I think is all very, very critical. We have at this point, with the upcoming president being Dana and the president-elect being Megan Vixie, we have roughly a 3-year succession plan, with conversations ongoing about a succession plan past that point already. So leaving the organization with a sustainable model of leadership is I am very proud of personally, and I think bolsters the reputation and the strength of the organization going forward. And all of our VPs, secretary, and treasurer have been with us for a year and multiple years, in most cases, multiple years. So that all looks really great to me. Dana and Jared, thank you for your work in bringing on board our 6 new board members this year. They all, having read their resumes and heard and met a few of them, they all look like amazingly strong additions to our team. So I'm really thankful for you all stepping up, as well as Dana and Jared's work to vet that process, as well as some notable recruitment by the entire board, especially Michelle Raymer in multiple cases. So we actually have already voted per the bylaws online for this. So this slate is now approved for going forward into 2019, which again, super excited and looking forward to watching them work. And I'm going to take the opportunity to step back into the past president role and watch things coast along and fill in as needed for the coming year. With that, Gretchen, would you step the PowerPoint for us again, please? With that, I'm going to turn the presentation over to Dana Litwin, who's now our president-elect and now our new president. Dana, are you there? Maybe I won't. While we let Dana get herself unmuted, I will just go through. Another thing that I really like about the regional map that we've been using for a long time, we now have complete representation across the U.S. Obviously, we have a few areas of the country where we'd like to get a little bit more representation, but this is, again, for the last 5 years that I've been on board, the widest distribution that we've had as representatives, which is really great to see. We had even more people in the Pacific region. For some reason, the huge state of California has just so many practitioners, but we've been able to balance that out with some concerted recruitment efforts throughout this country. And for some reason, with Carmi and I just being in the Great Lakes area, we've accidentally recruited more people in our region too. Both Donna and Katie are also wonderful additions to the team. Gretchen, would you step forward as we wait for Dana to get on the phone again, please?
Jason, I have that Dana should be unmuted. Dana, are you there?
Okay.
She's sending me a text message here. Stand by.
While Gretchen and Dana work on some more technology issues, I and the entire board and many members that I've talked to in recent months, I want to send an exceptional thank you to Emily. Emily has had the longest terms with Alive since its creation a bit over 10 years ago. She served 3 full terms. The numbers here are just a tiny bit off. If I recall correctly, she was 9 through 11 and 12 through 14 and 16 through 18. But she has brought to the table just a really strong advocacy for our profession and our industry, always chiming in and piping up for the need for us to step forward and be advocates on our own behalf, and for Alive to step forward and assist others to in our industry to become more professional and give them opportunities to take leadership roles. And that's been a delight and a wonderful strain to have in our mix. I've been always really enjoyed having people on board who ask critical questions of my leadership or of a team that I'm on. And Emily has always been a wonderful addition to the team in that way, and very thoughtful. So we will rejoice in all of the work that Emily has done and offered for us. And I am told by Dana, who is geographically closer to Emily, that she's going to stick on and with us in some working on some of our committees, as well as taking more leadership role with the Alliance, as well as with their local association out in the Bay Area. So that I'm not surprised at all that she's not stepping back. So that's great to hear. Gretchen, did you
Can you guys hear me now?
On the line? Hey,
Can you hear me?
You. That's so great. Yep.
Can you? Can
yeah.
everybody hear me now? Okay, good. Thank you. Yeah, it was, sorry about the text confusion there between which end is muted and which end isn't. But Emily's going to stay involved on committees and special projects, and also strengthening our local Northern California Bay Area Volunteer Administrators Network. So we're definitely going to keep in touch and keep some great work going with the Alliance as well. I wanted to mention a couple of slides back when I couldn't get unmuted. One of our executive committee members, Anthony Richardson, has just received his CVA. So congrats on that, Anthony. We're pretty excited to have so many CVAs on our board this time around. Okay, I think now we're ready for the next slide. Does that sound good? Now that you can hear me? Perfect. We've done some bylaws revisions and vote. The bylaws have been up on our Alive website, these proposed changes, since October 1st. And we've had a couple of email reminders to all of our members to take a look at these and be ready for the vote. And what we're doing, essentially, you're welcome to, of course, read the slide if you have not yet had a chance on our website or in previous emails to review these changes. But we're really updating the bylaws to current best practices and expanding and clarifying some language and making sure that the bylaws reflect how the board and the organization are functioning into the 21st century. So I'd like to make a motion with the members present on the call for a vote in the revisions of the bylaws as they are stated here.
Dana, we have a motion to accept as Emily, and Shirley Conger asked, is there a quorum?
So move. Yes, we should have a quorum, both from the previous electronic membership votes that were tallied and for who is on the call today. And Jason says, so moved, as he is in the chat box. So bylaws, sounds like we have critical. Gretchen, you can probably see the count better than I can.
Yes, that's correct. I do not, I only see, yeah, there's not a vote up on the screen. It's just, if you would just type into the question box if you have a yes or no vote, please.
Great.
Yes, and we're voting individual. No, the question from Jerry is, do we vote individually on the article revisions or as a group?
Some are clarifying voting yes to all articles. I had my vote covered all articles. I agree with all articles. If anyone wants to clarify one or the other, you're welcome to do so in the chat box, but we want to pass this as a group. So yes from Dixie.
We also had a question if there was a second, and yes, there was a second from Jennifer Thompson.
Great.
Jerry,
if you can type it, go ahead. Go ahead, Gretchen.
Yeah, there's just a question from Jerry. I just see the question box, so just type in yes or no to vote.
Yes, correct. Thanks for clarifying. Some of the fun and excitement of virtual meetings in our modern world.
Okay, according to the bylaws, we have a majority vote of the members attending the annual meeting. And so looks like the tabulation is that bylaws changes are passed.
Wonderful. Motion passes. Thank you, everyone, for your participation in that, and for all who helped draft this over the last year. Great. So I will tap in. We're continuing to do work with the National Alliance for Volunteer Engagements, and we had a recent phone call of the interim leadership team. We're in the process now, very close to finishing, drafting a process and a structure to recruit for the permanent leadership team early into 2019. And I believe there's an email going out, if not this week, then early next week, that will summarize the Alliance's work thus far with interim leadership team and moving in the permanent leadership team. The permanent leadership team will be presenting itself and be open to questions at the 2019 National Conference on Volunteering and Service, which will be in Minnesota. And again, more details on that, but that's a pretty exciting development. And we have working groups for communications, the next gathering, which will be in June 18th through 20th at NCVS, and the research and accreditation working group are all somewhat underway. Research and accreditation is able to do more without the permanent leadership in place, because they are literally gathering research right now, to then get guidance from the permanent leadership team when that is in place in early 2019. So stay tuned for even more exciting work. It's been quite a wonderful initial task force coming out of the MAVA Summit to create this alliance. And myself and Betsy McFarland have been co-facilitating the process this entire time. It's really wonderful to have such great people to work with on the entire task force, on the interim leadership team, and really looking forward to my role continuing to co-facilitate throughout at least the beginning of 2019. So a lot of great stuff happening in our profession, and excited that Alive is fiscal agent and helping to really support this new cross-sector Alliance for Engagement and the work that's going to be coming up in 2019. And we'll also be sending out in next couple of communications some opportunities to either join working groups if you're not already on one, and some potential special projects and recruiting for specific roles, not just within permanent leadership team, but also an advisory group. If you're someone who is particularly from crossing over into sectors, or you know others in some of the sectors where we're reaching outside of our profession and want to forward that information, I encourage you to, as that comes up in the very near future. So Gretchen, ready for the next slide if you all are. We're doing pretty well with our treasurer's report. Brian Probst has been an excellent treasurer thus far. And again, we've had a great year of growth. I'm going to be launching as president in 2019 a couple of special projects, and past president Jason is going to be taking on a special project in grant writing and fundraising as well. So expect to go into 2019 and 2020 equally strong. We've had, again, increasing memberships, another successful hybrid conference, and continuing to build our partnerships and just kind of general different revenue streams and ways people can do donations, including Amazon Smile and some other really easy automated ways to participate. And all of this is to serve our members and to create even this networking opportunities and professional development opportunities for all of you, for our membership, and to grow all of our professional strengths in this field for Alive and in the rest of our careers. So really, really proud of the work that Brian has done with our budget and the rest of the board in all of our projects. Nice summation. I'm getting to some good details here. So again, our budget is always available if you want to take a look at the nitty-gritty of it. But again, doing fairly well. We're doing a change in our webinar hosting technology, which should save us about $1,000 a year. So again, we're always looking for the most efficient ways to deliver our benefits to our members and our programs while we grow. And it's a nice balance of getting a lot of great new program participants and partnerships and experts to share in webinars with our members. We've significantly dropped our postage cost as well. So yeah, again, doing fairly well in projected income and projected expenses. And we want to, again, continue a healthy level of growth and member expansion and adding even more opportunities and benefits for our members. If any of you ever have an idea for a new partnership or webinar topic, or wish to send in a proposal to do a webinar on what you're an expert in, we absolutely welcome that feedback. It's absolutely a two-way street, and we're very easy to get in touch with board. So again, thank you, Brian. Looking forward to, and we'll be also recruiting for, as Brian's going to term out at the end of 2019. In 2019, we'd love to, either from our incoming board members And anyone else who wants to start to learn to step into the role, be getting an apprentice treasurer to learn how to do that in 2020 and beyond. So again, kind of wrapping up some really great accomplishments for 2018 and our goals for 2019. Successful fundraising campaigns, working on sponsorships, exploring other areas for grants and funding, developing and training a new treasurer, as I mentioned, and really increasing our online presence and just making it easier in general for those within our membership or even within the field in general, or as we get into these cross-sector partnerships, whoever might want to donate to Alive and building the professional development of our members is absolutely welcome to. And again, putting Jason onto a special grant writing and funding project as well. So we're excited. We're excited to have you all join us in any and all of these endeavors. Next slide. Thank you. And just, a quick glance at our very many partners. Pretty soon we won't have, we'll have to shrink this down and fit more onto a page, but we're just about doing well now. And again, there's a variety of technologies for our members, either free or very low cost. Other memberships, webinars, free or very low cost webinars from our partners. And of course, tuning into the hybrid conference and getting your CVA, as many of our board members and members have. And let us know again if you have any questions after this meeting on our website of any of the partnerships, or if you want to suggest more, we're open to that. Okay, thank you. I'll go to the next slide. Keep it rolling. Membership report. I don't think Jared was able to be on the call due to an all-day training today, and Jared McCannell's been our previous chair, VP chair of the membership committee. I've also had that role, so I'm happy to speak to it. We did increase our membership by 20%. I've got supported 34 local professional volunteer associations. We've done some updates to our members-only sections and benefits and information. And hopefully we're making the process easier for new members to come on board and understand their benefits. We're definitely doing a lot of committee work, and this is a working board, so thank you so much to the people joining us. We've got a lot of great projects launching. And Gretchen in particular, and then some other members of our board, not just our admin manager. Gretchen's been great at representing us on the ground, wheels on the ground, at a number of local, state, regional events. I've done my part with a few events here and there as I travel around and speak as well. And again, that's another great opportunity, whether you're on membership committee or not, to let us know if as an active member, to have special project to do outreach for us if you're attending a regional or local gathering of any sort. We'd love to have you represent Alive at that. And in 2019, we're going to yet again update our membership welcome webinar and continue to review the features and updates and streamline the members only section, and collaborate with marketing. We've got a number of cool marketing campaigns planned. Anthony will step into that with great skill. And launching handbook, and we've done a launch of our mentor program individually this year, which has been quite successful, which we'll hear about a little bit later in this presentation, but starting in 2019 to expand into a mentor program for local associations. So again, that support of local dovias in the Bay Area, BAVAN, and whatever those groups want to call themselves, and have that structure in place to develop those if they aren't in your area. Okay, go to the next slide. And Gretchen, let me know if any major questions pop up. It was a lot of fun at the hybrid conference. I hope most of you on the call, I recognize most of your names, these folks who tuned in, and I did a shout out to some of you. And our next one will be October 22nd and 23rd in 2019. I'm returning to host, which is my absolute pleasure to do. And we had, gosh, I believe around 1,000 total people tuning in between both days for kind of an East Coast feed and a West Coast feed and different time zones. And 41 different remote locations. So over 800 attendees, sorry, I misread that, 800 attendees. And then I felt like I was speaking to a lot of you personally. So hopefully you had that good experience of the hybrid conference and found it valuable as well. And we'll see you next time. A programs and advocacy report. Emily, do you want to hop in and talk about these in more detail, or Michelle, if you're on the call, since you guys have been doing this wonderful work for programs and advocacy?
Let me say, I'm going to unmute Michelle.
Great.
Michelle, I'm sending you a quick quick panelist request. So you should be able to unmute yourself and say a few words. So go ahead, Michelle.
All right, great, thank you. Yeah, so the Programs and Advocacy Committee has been busy over the last year, and we've done a lot of great things, and we're looking forward to building on those successes next year. So in 2018, we've hosted 18 Alive Academy webinars and partner webinars on topics from advocacy to professional writing and presenting, starting local associations, job equity for volunteer engagement professionals. So we're looking forward to a great slate of webinars in the coming year. We also, I've really enjoyed with Communities of Practice, getting to know a number of our members who work in and serve rural communities as we launched our very first rural community of practice. And so those are opportunities for people who work in similar situations to get together, learn from each other, network with each other, share with each other. And so it's been a great experience to get to know, and hopefully it's been good for everyone to learn from each other and build those connections. We have also launched a pilot of the Alive Academy presenters for members. So an opportunity to invite our members to be presenters on the Alive Academy and share your skills and experience and knowledge to help build our future generation of volunteer engagement professionals, and also to give people that opportunity for professional development experience for yourself to be presenting on a national audience. So big thanks to Barry Altland for volunteering to be one of our first member presenters coming up in January. We have also done a lot of outreach to members through newsletter articles to make sure we're keeping all of you updated about upcoming opportunities to participate in professional development and to be involved as a volunteer. And this year launched the pilot of the Alive Emerging Leaders Mentor Program. So a huge shout out to Megan Vixie for starting that initiative up. But we've been able to match a number of mentees with mentors in the field, and they're kind of, I think, a little over halfway or maybe about halfway through their mentorship time, and then we'll launch that again. And so goals for 2019 are really building off a lot of these successes. So continue to streamline that process for bringing on Alive Academy presenters and partners to present, so we can provide you with a slate of calendar opportunities for you to plan ahead. Also really working on expanding professional development opportunities with the Alive Academy. We know so many of you have great experience and skills, and so we really do want you to share those with your peers and volunteer to present on that. So we hope to have kind of requests for proposals opened up quarterly, so that way you can make a proposal if you have a presentation idea. If you are not sure of what you might present on or want help fleshing out an idea, we'd welcome you to reach out. We'd be happy to talk through the ideas you have and what we can do to make it a good fit for the audience. We'll also be working on expanding the different communities of practice. We started off with a rural one, and then one of our new board members and a program and advocacy committee member, Allison, will be starting up a new community of practice for large multi-site national organizations. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, stay tuned. That'll be coming in 2019. And if there's another, group or segment that you would love to connect with your peers on and start up a community of practice, reach out, because we would love to have you lead one of those for us. We'll also be continuing to build on resources with advocacy. We've kind of started our way into that, and so really building up being able to share information about how you can advocate for not only yourself, but also for the profession at a local, state, and federal level. So if that is something that you're interested in being more involved, whether, passing along those things that you think might be interesting to the rest of our membership, or being more involved with writing a newsletter article or something like that about an advocacy topic, that's a great chance for you to share those skills. Which leads to our next goal that you've probably noticed already, the theme of really increasing member involvement opportunities. This audience knows better than anyone the power of volunteers, and so we know that we're really better together, and as a membership organization, we rely on all of the members to really help make us successful and thrive and growing. So we encourage you to think through what skills and experiences you have that could help make the association stronger, and invite you to share those with us. And if one of the different opportunities we've talked about today doesn't seem like a good fit, reach out anyway, and we can talk through what your unique skills and interests are and figure out what the best place for them is within the organization. So we'd love to have everyone actively participating in Alive. And then finally, launching the next round of the mentor program. So if you were interested and weren't able to participate this year or hadn't heard about it, as we launch that, we'll share that information out with our newsletter and on social media. So keep an eye out for that, and we'd love to have you involved. Or if you'd love to be a part of the planning process for that and leading that effort, reach out about that as well. So questions on programs and advocacy? All right. Well, and just to wrap up, also just echoing what Jason shared earlier, a huge thanks to Emily for your leadership on this committee, and as well as a thank you for continuing on to share your knowledge and expertise as a continuing committee member. So thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you, Michelle. I look back at the amount of work we've done this year, and I'm a little flabbergasted that any of us got any sleep. It's pretty great. Well, thank you so much. I've definitely enjoyed being a mentor in our mentor program, and I encourage everyone to help us expand that. And thank you, Megan Bixie, for really designing and piloting that mentor program as well. Next slide. Wonderful. I wasn't at this party. I couldn't make a NCBS this year in Atlanta, but we had some pretty great numbers. Gretchen, do you want to speak to that, since you and Tony and others were hosting the party?
Well, actually, I wasn't there either. I helped set a few things up.
That's right.
Behind the scenes, but on the far left is Megan Bixie, and maybe this is a good place for her to jump in and talk a little bit about this slide. Go ahead, Megan.
Sure, thank you. So I was there. So yes, this was kind of an annual event that we host for, for all of our members that are attending kind of the Service Unites National Conference, that we can actually see each other in person. So we had over 70 attendees and some new people familiarizing themselves with the Live, as well as our members, just to get together, in partnership with Better Impact to host the event. So it's just a really great gathering. And, in the future, if any of our members are, planning on attending the conference this year, and we would, love to have all of you just keep in touch with us. You'll see some announcements about that. And also just below, having some of our engagement numbers there in terms of our social media and our kind of our database of contacts. We are connecting with at least over 1,500 people through our outreach efforts and e-blasts or newsletters, and then we have our social media, and we definitely continue to see an increase with folks that are following us or liking our pages. Facebook alone had about a 24% increase since this time last year, so we're really happy that people are engaging with us and getting information from us, and we hope to continue that growth there, as well as turning these folks into members. So Gretchen, if you want to just move to the next slide. And this is just some of our accomplishments from last this past year, and Anthony Richardson will be kind of taking over for VP of Marketing, and he also served on the committee as well as Jerome Tennille, and we've been working on making sure we're delivering newsletters to our members every other month, making sure there's great content in there and announcements of all the great things that we're doing, as well as some e-blasts and updates throughout the year to keep everyone informed. We've also enhanced the website. We've put more information on there. We've also streamlined the look of it, and we're continuing to do upgrades to that coming in 2019. We looked at a social media schedule, just making sure that we have regular information going out as well. With also a big shout out with Gretchen, who makes sure she keeps us on top of that. And this also a great shout out to Gretchen about, she's connected with 7 local associations throughout the country this last year, and actually physically went to their meetings and spoke with them. So just being, again, on the ground for us out there nationally, outreaching to these associations. And then we also just established our marketing committee that I mentioned before, and, helping with our strategies and promotions that we have. So those are just a few of our accomplishments from 2018, and we look forward to 2019 to really continue to create that marketing strategy, especially for LinkedIn, and working with our committee on that. So that will kind of be an enhanced member benefit as well there, and, in partnership, as you've seen with the membership committee. We want to continue to revamp the website and also the navigation through the website. We're going to collaborate with membership to have an annual membership drive and launch a campaign for members to complete their member profile, so we can make sure that everybody's information is up to date. And that way, this is an opportunity for our members to search for each other and connect, if they need assistance. And that would be a great way for people to be able to search and get more complete information. And then just maintaining and enhancing our presence, for volunteer engagement professionals, meaning, going, if it's, luckily we have Gretchen to connect with our local associations, or even at these national events, we want to just make sure that we have a presence there and that people are learning about Alive and connecting. The more members that we have, the better our organization will be as we connect and collaborate with one another. So if there are no questions on that, that is the marketing report.
Great, thank you, Megan. Not seeing any questions pop up. And you can also, again, emphasize, we're real people. We're pretty easy to reach. So if any questions come up afterwards, you can do that. Words and fonts cannot express our gratitude as individuals, as a full board, to the work that Gretchen does. It's a really great font. It's still not enough. Gretchen does so much work for us, and has been previously on the board and really a founding member, along with Emily and also some of you on the call today. So Jason, you want to chime in and see if your words can add up to any amount of gratitude that we have? I don't think mine can.
It is not possible. Gretchen also continues to carry the torch of our founding with us through into the future. And one of the things that I personally have loved about working as the president for the last 2 years, working a little bit more directly with Gretchen, is her interesting capacity to go above and beyond the job and the job duties to get things done for us. As Megan was noting, Gretchen's Home on Wheels has been one of our best outreach tools to local associations, which has been an exceptional boon to the organization. I think she tends to enjoy the travel also. That might just be a side benefit of the job with us. I'm not positive, but she's helped out every single team member this year, as she has for the last few years since we've been able to bring her on as a contract manager. I'm really excited that we were this past year able to bring her level of contract up a little bit because of our finances, which you noticed we're able to keep at a healthy location this year. So we're going to be able to keep her on at that level, You know, the board has had some intricate conversations about wanting to bring Gretchen or someone up to more employment at some point, but we're not at that place at this point. So Gretchen has just done above and beyond with the resources that we've given her, and so we're exceptionally thankful. We literally would have done half as much or less without Gretchen. So thank you so much, my friend. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Hopefully she's turning all colors of red on the other side. And ways, we were talking about our committees, and you've heard from a couple of our chairs, both incoming and changing over roles in the executive committee. And there's always room for more. Each committee, the time commitment would be, it's usually 1 or 2 hours a week. Each committee tends to have one conference call a month, and then special projects or assignments. The membership committee has, we split the membership welcome calls among the board, typically by region, but, you know, we have a lot of West Coast representation, so some of us on the West Coast take a few extra calls as needed. And the marketing committee is awfully fun. Anthony is coming in, vice president, chair of that committee, is a very, very awesome person to work with. I'm really glad he's on the board with us, and congrats again on the very fresh CBA. So if you want to work on marketing committee, membership committee, programs and advocacy, our websites, our webinars, websites, articles, mentor program, any of these, always welcome more committee members. And again, it's not quite as much of a time commitment as being a full board member. It's a great way to be engaged with the organization and the rest of our membership, and work with some really awesome people along the way. Sounds good. We'll go to the next slide. And we'll field any questions that haven't popped up yet. Let us know. Jason and I will field, or Gretchen, if she has the expertise on it, or committee chairs, if they have the expertise on it. Happy to field questions.
Dana, if I can give you a word of outgoing president advice, whenever you can throw your president-elect under the bus for a question, it's a good idea to do it.
Oh, great. So I'm
Megan, you should get ready.
I'm now the president, so now I can throw Megan under the bus for a question.
This is Gretchen. I just want to say.
Go ahead, Gretchen.
Oh, I was going to say, if you do have a question, just type it into the question box, please.
And I might buck that tradition that Jason mentioned and throw the past president under the bus to answer questions. All of us who are currently unmuted and not accidentally remuting ourselves are available if you want to type a question into the box. And again, if it comes to you 20 minutes after this meeting ends, just email one or all of us, or email manager at Alive, or to get to Gretchen to distribute the question to whoever has the best answer.
Gretchen here, and I just want to reiterate that too. If you have something you'd like to communicate with, you can either go info@volunteeralive.org or manager@volunteeralive.org, and I'll be happy to answer if I can, or pass along. And just thank you, Dana and Jason, for such kind words, and for the support of everybody on the board. It's been a pleasure and so inspiring to work with each of you. And I'm really excited about what the future holds for the organization, as well as the health and well-being of the organization, but also of the profession. And it's pretty cool to be a part of that, no matter where I am. And I'll just like to publicly, again, apologize for these time zone issues. I guess I need to stop traveling a little bit. So as soon as I land in one time zone for a while, I will, yeah. Once I get to Florida, I'll be there for 4 months, and I should get it all worked out by then. So any of my colleagues in Florida, I'll be trying to connect with you either individually or perhaps as a group. So we'll see you. After that, the month of April, I'm in South Carolina, and the month of May, I'm in Virginia. And the rest is TBA.
Great. Okay, I am not seeing any questions popping up, so hopefully that means we've done pretty well with the information presented so far. So I think we can move on. And again, you're always welcome to get to us. So fundraising efforts, like I talked about a little bit earlier, and Jason did as well. We're kind of streamlining and just making it as easy as possible while you're already shopping on Amazon or eBay or somewhere else for members or others to make a donation. We had a little bit of a push for Giving Tuesday, so thanks everyone who participated in that. And again, giving Jason a special project now that he will have a little bit of time as a past president to do some grant writing and look at some additional fundraising efforts for us as we expand into 2019. So as you're doing holiday shopping online, it's really easy to click the button for Amazon Smile or eBay for some of that to go towards Alive. I think we're in good shape here. We'll go to the next slide unless anyone has anything else
Dana,
about donations. Go ahead.
I do have a few questions that have popped up since you've been
great.
talking, and I will. It's from Shirley Conger, and she said, last year I asked about the Human Resources and Policy Committee, a required committee in the bylaws. I see it is still not activated.
The human resources and
Human Resources and Policy Committee.
And policy. A lot of that function has been folded into the executive committee, if it hasn't been formally renamed, but those functions have been basically taken on by the entire executive committee. And as we've needed to do special projects or work groups, we've done those on those topics. Doesn't mean the work isn't getting done. But if we want to rename it and make it official, but it seems more, again, catching up with modern efficiencies, we've folded that work into the executive committee.
And then Dana, one other question from Katie Campbell, who says, congratulations on the 20% increase in membership. I'm curious what the number is now, and I can field that if you like.
Yeah, off the top of your head, Gretchen.
Yeah, and it's changing. We're getting new members in all of the time. I'm happy to report we have over 300 individual members, and then along with that, we have about 32 of the individual association, local association members, of which our newest local association member, pretty cool, Dovia LA, and then the newest one before that is the, let's see, I want to say it's the acronyms always slay me, but it is the Mid-Coast Maine Volunteer Managers Association, I think. So from one coast to another and all points in between. And so really excited about that. And overall, I would say that we represent with the full memberships, the local associations, and with all the other associated people along with those memberships. I feel that easily we could say our membership is up to 1,000 or more.
Wonderful. Thanks so much. And thanks, Katie, and Shirley for asking those questions. Great. And just, being mindful of our last of time, if we can get out at noon, that's great, although we're scheduled to go a little longer. We've got the Alive Academy coming up on Wednesday, January 30th. And please register for that, again, for members. It's free. If you have friends in other industries who also might be interested in this who aren't yet members, they can join for just $25. So spread the information and the joy, and always check in with our website. We have a lot of webinars that we do ourselves, and also we sponsor partner webinars with Volunteer Match and Volunteer Pro and other organizations as they ask to be shared on our calendar. But this one's going to be really exciting. I know I'm going to tune into this as well. Always good to get leadership involved. Go ahead, Gretchen.
Yes, and Dana, there's another question from Shirley. And the question is, if there are 300 members and only 25 in attendance at this meeting, there is not a quorum. And I know that the board has had this discussion about this, and the bylaws clearly state that a quorum, it doesn't say what number a quorum is or even anything. It just says the bylaws can be passed by a majority of those attending the annual meeting.
Yes, and by that measure, and again, the many board discussions on what those numbers mean, and back and forth, and that we have passed in that interpretation of it in the current board's interpretation, and lengthy discussions of the bylaws. So surely your opinion on the subject is duly noted, and your vote is counted for this vote today. But again, thank you for your high level of engagement on the subject. And great, moving on to Volunteer Pro reminder. I've completed this survey. Survey closes on Friday. Friday, I believe December 6th, early December, not tomorrow. Ooh, does it close tomorrow? That would be bad. I think it closes next week, but go thee hence, if you have not already, to complete the Volunteer Pro progress report. It's the 4th year they've done it. It's always fantastically detailed and useful information that Toby Johnson puts together, and Toby's been, Volunteer Pro has been a great partner and advocate with Alive over the years, and we're always happy to share her survey. And when you do this survey, when you complete it, you get an invitation to preview the results in a webinar that's also in January. So I encourage you to do all of those things if you have not. And to please share this link among your peers. It's not just here in our webinar today. It's been on LinkedIn, it's been on Facebook, it's been on Twitter. So we want to get as much information, not just from our members, but from all of our peers in this profession to take the survey and get that data from them, and get the snapshot of where we are and where we're going. Next slide, please. Thank you. Wonderful. And again, thanks all of you for your attendance today, your engagement, the rest in other meetings and online conferences and webinars. And again, feel free to reach out to us individually and to your committee members if you're interested in doing a special project or a committee. And if you have an idea for a special project in your area, in your region that fits within the Dovias or doesn't, we're always open to new ideas. So let us know, and we'll get you towards the board member or the working group member who has the best information to answer your question. But thank you all so much for your attendance and time today. And we shall sign off. And again, thanks. An absolute huge welcome to our new board members. We're going to have that orientation on December 8th, and we'll talk to you all in more detail. Those of you I don't yet know as well personally, I really look forward to working with our new board members and our current veteran board members in 2019 as the president, and with Megan Dixie as president-elect. We're really proud of the group that we have and the work that we're going to be doing. So thank you all so much.